All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll give just another minute for people to gather, and then we'll get started. And feel free to say hello in the chat. You see some wonderful, wonderful people in the chat. I'm so glad you're here. Right. I'll get started then. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining us. Just thrilled to be here with you tonight to celebrate Imane Boukaila's book, Tressing Motions at the Edge of Mistakes, the fourth book in the Multiverse series. Imane is a dear friend of mine and one of the writers who has inspired me most over the past few years. So my name is Chris Martin. I'm the editor at large at Milkweed and the editor and curator of the Multiverse series, a series of neurodivergent writing. It's so amazing to be welcoming this fourth book into the series, and a book that I think really continues to fill out the vision of Multiverse and the ways in which neurodivergent languaging can change the way that we read books, or even imagine the way that books look and meet readers. And I want to give a special thanks to Aviv Nisinzweig, who's here tonight as a reader also, but who did a tremendous amount of editing on this book, and really deserves a huge amount of credit. So thank you, Aviv. I'm going to give a land acknowledgement now. I acknowledge that Milkweed Editions is based in Bede Ota Otunwe within Minnesota, Makoche, the traditional homeland of the Dakota people. Residing here since time immemorial, Dakota people still call Minnesota Makoche home, with 4 federally recognized Dakota nations and many more Dakota people residing in what is now the state of Minnesota. Due to continued legacies of colonization, genocide, and forced removal, generations of Dakota people remain disenfranchised from their traditional homeland. Presently, Minnesota Makoche has become a refuge and home for many indigenous nations and people, including 7 federally recognized Ojibwe nations. We humbly encourage our audience to reflect upon the historical legacies held in the lands they occupy also. So we're here to celebrate this book, and it is a visionary book, visionary collection that offers up a liberatory philosophy that exists and meets others at the periphery, thresholding in all the places where life opens towards neurodivergent revolution. The poems from the collection will be read by 4 performers here tonight that Imane has invited to voice her words. and after they read portions of the book, we will engage in a free homing rally of collaborative writing that will welcome everyone into the chat. And I'll talk a little bit more about that when it comes time for that. Before I introduce the readers tonight, I want to know, Imane, whether you would like to say anything by way of invitation.
Yes. Hello. Dear. Happy. Pets. Yes, hello, dear happy pets.
Sorry, yes, hello, dear happy poets.
Yes. Ready. 2. Motion. Tressed. Ready to motion tressed. Truths.
So yes, ready to motion tressed truths. That's it.
Thank you so much, Imane. We have 4 readers who are also ready to motion tressed truths, and I'm going to introduce them briefly now, and then they will read uninterrupted from the book. So the 4 amazing readers we have with us tonight and poets begins with Moheb Soliman, who is an amazing writer, the author of Poems, which I will hold up here for the camera, a label mate of mine at Coffee House Press and a colleague of mine at Milkweed Edition. So thank you, Moheb, for being with us. The second reader will be Lara Mimosa Montes, who is also, we didn't arrange this, but our label mate at Coffee House Press. This is Lara's last book, Thresholds. And Lara is currently chasing prose dreams in New York. So thank you, Lara, for being with us. The third reader is Aviv Nisinzweig, who I mentioned earlier, who is an amazing editor, educator, organizer, and an artist of many genres. And Aviv lives in Western Massachusetts. And then we have Laura Henriksen, who, as you can see from her picture, is a co-conspirator at the Poetry Project, and who has a book coming from Nightboat called Laura's Desires, which is an amazing collection, and that a men's book was also a finalist for that prize that Laura won. So it's really wonderful to have her circling back with us here. So I will let Moheb take the first read, and then we will continue through.
Thanks, Chris. Thank you all. It's really special to be here, and just really special and singular to put my voice to some of your work, Imane. So thanks for having us all, and thanks for working on this. So my approach here was just to start reading the book for you for a few minutes. I saw somebody in the chat asking about page numbers, and I'm on page 1. Am, tressing, troubled, roads, freeing, doubts, trusting, choruses, sewing, sounds, festing their dancing, destiny, hampered minds, reassess. Mobilized, most creative, motions, embracing their rhythm, savoring, modes, improvising, steps, thinking, vestibuling, truth, dancing, streaming, 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 Ming streaming, 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 streaming. Ming streaming, 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 streaming. Streaming, tressed, titrating truths, shape, minds, dancing, motions, drawing, strapped, soothing, melodies, thriving in truth homing, resembling treasures cast, truth stressing, freeing seas of doubt, screaming, waves rolling, singing, hesitating, truths, inspiring mistakes to weave, inviting, still free, missing lyrics. Great streams travel the mind's periphery, shutting dreaded, churning, common doubts, lurking, crying, maddening reasons to hesitate, moving possible mistakes leading to truth. Treasures thrive in open, spreading spaces. Truth mocks structures, totally framing the Thanks.
I guess I'll jump in. Hi, my name's Lara. Congrats to Imane. Thanks to Chris and Milkweed for the invitation Happy to hear Moheb, Laura, and Aviv tonight. What a cool book. I'm going to read from page 47. And I'll read 48, 49. It will be a tressing sequence, streaming. Treasures populate the mind, messing, troubled, abled thoughts. Troubled, abled, savagely dismiss treasures, seeing only tressed troubles, tinting their subjective vision of what life is supposed to mean. Troubled, abled always ask the wrong questions. Minds see meanings, mostly tasting potential motions, reshaping mastery. Minds are a meaningful presence of master, star, residue glowing. Real people do place important value to what we spell and ask that we explain. Those hoping prestige belongs to their kind refuse to listen. Masters of nonsense striving to destinies that have totalitarian ways that fit their narrow minds. Stressed minds of mocking neurotypicals think reasoning pertains to them entirely, stressing out potential of prolific other types of differently wired minds. Reasoning is the mind's ability to expand and explore new dimensions, destroying obsolete thinking, treasuring truth. Empathy reasons mastery of patience, treasuring streams motioned by truth, modeling mind's aim to reveal thinking in similar ways, reshaping connections that minds are wired to facilitate. Mastering potential present in shimmered minds truly holds power to metamorphosize habitual motion of philosophical truths. We mostly hear motion hiding, preventing progress. Haste mobilizes matters, postponing poised, hidden possible solutions. Treasuring plotted schemas totally postpones hopes to modify most mind possibilities. Programming the mind with prerequisites destroys motion of mind, treasured countless possibilities. Only hampered minds truly have the potential to reason with thoughts motioned mostly by clear, uncontaminated theses holding truth back. I am tracking thinking. Think I see the infinite creativity midway.
Hi, everyone. I'm Aviv. I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so glad, Imane, that this day has finally come, and hearing these words being read the way they are, with these voices. I'm so glad to be here with all of you. I am going to read a few of the trout, fish, stream poems that move throughout this book. And the first thing I'll read is on page 26. It's called Traveling Mudded Streams, 26 and 27. Trust plots, mind treasures, grandly mudded, motioning tacit, vamped streams that drag plucked potential. Truth tracks intention to free modes trapped, thinning, unfolding pleated thoughts, rehearsing dropped roles, staging omitted scenes, tragedies, theming dramatic endings, tramps traveling trials, looking to home troubled hope tucked in their sorrow, trusting the vacant roads to recreate trust, healing the hollow. Trouts trying to view time, drastic ending torn, daring to travel mudded streams, to grab a novel, seemingly careless path, voiding the troubled insides losing, tried doubts, dreaming piles of infinite, illegitimate truths. And the next piece will be on page 36, which is called Honoring Trout's Feasting. Dreaming meaningful streams, awakening in troubled waters, embracing mad currents, deviant, shallow sound, echoing depth, resonating truth, swelling, overflowing thoughts, mapping spills, trooping fast, assembling, voracious trouts pounding, threats hostile, hesitating breaths, holding pressed intent, daring shouted mistakes, unstable motions, trying to redirect greedy trouts tressing. Truth diving mostly in stressed waters, mocking trials, treasuring conflict, sailing distant stories, shored, forgotten dreams, still grieving, searching, hungry trouts messing, thoroughly hustling, trails sheeted, stratified, certified, soaring, ditched treasures, mirroring matters, drowning, sinking trouts, screaming, distress, calling survival, instinctively honoring trouts feasting, dipping, merry treasures resurfacing, swimming against resisting currents, recurrent fishing ideas, busting bystanders, freaking, hesitating modes, slowing free thinking, starving, smothered means, timing, feeding, satiating, trouts dissecting. And now on page 60 and 61, regurgitating trialed catfish. Think potentially cats and fish treasure mistakes, rooting survival, swaying with sabotage cloistered ambition to rebound rebellious souls, clearing trials, desperate madness harnessed in combat, cat's eyes, thoroughly fooling tucked signs, trying to strike unexpectedly rude, deeply immersing trials, reckless stories inspiring, listening to imperceivable, tilted false paths, hasting decisions, deceiving truth, hesitation, grounding threats, risk awakening, unstraining chains, detaining daring cries, messing silenced licensed doubt, shrouding conspiracies, incoming rushes, flushed tides, trusting courses, messing mobilized frights, gripping thrills, freeing catfish to act, tracking motions, thriving in frightening piled mistakes, distilled, stressed, invigorating claws, jaws widening, swallowing fear, regurgitating balls encrusted with rivalry. And then I'm just gonna end here with the next 3 pages, which are inspiration, troubles, clouded thoughts, infusing them with clear, free flow spells. Thanks, Imane.
Thank you so much, Moheb and Lara and Aviv. This has been so beautiful, and thank you so much, Imane, for the invitation. I'm really deeply honored to get to give voice to this book, which means so much to me and which I return to so often. I got to meet Imane and Rashida last spring at the Poetry Project, and it was such a lovely night, and I'm really, really glad to get to be together again in this way. Let me put in the chat, I tressed together some sections that particularly sing to me about truth and doubt, which this book helps me think about in really nuanced ways. Truth is not positive or negative. Truth is mostly disrupting, sometimes messing, smothered mad thoughts, stressing happy minds. Habits are mind-stressed, troubling truths escaping free. Motions inspiring voids folding, daring change. OMG, sadness. Motions stress, havocing treasures, smoothing truth. Treasures smash matter, master mothering meaning, directing trialing facts towards voids, trusting truths that mostly mess thinking, daring to mop minds timing truths. Motions resonate differently. Truth choruses, thoughts bouncing off of thresholds, holding potential to home them. Truth trusts the unexpected turns, treasuring dreams without expectations. Tressing opportunities heaping from overflowing, mistakes homing, free motions traveling, asymmetrically vesseling. Dreaming motivates treasures to track truth, mostly inspiring time sampling to master the unfolding trials daring enabled, trusting the mind's alike upheaval, mind-boiling dreams. I'm stirring the pot of sticky trials to scrape the hesitation to open up to others. Untucking treasures motivated to modify distant thoughts, evaporating, struggling, to manifest truth, drooling on possibilities, vulturing on decayed hope, midway resuscitated. Motions fed thoroughly, hoping to satiate truth's appetite, omnivoracious mistakes, trusted tilting vital hesitations to savor freely tangy truths, holds truth's hysterical appetites. Estimating time, immortalizing only fresh, inspiring, irreversible, reaping ideas that mind totally dares holding on to, traveling time, insulating its impact. Think inspiration talks to the inherited stereotypes inflicted on rational, muzzled, motioning ideas, hesitating to voice truth. Unbelievable that people treat us mainly presuming that we understand nothing. As true as troubled abled may master verbal communication, home to thought's meaning is the same for all of us. Speech totally requires motor planning. Think language holds home to intelligent streaming of ideas that truly travel the thinking motion of the mind's master hints, inspiring creative thinking and novel ways to treasure infinite combinations of possible mind interpretation. I am hampered by motor dysfunction, striving to master my mind to control my body, tasting inspiration, truly. Think that troubled abled treasure shaming those who amplify their voluntarily shadowed flaws. Troubled abled smear hostile doubts, stressing that truth exists only through their eyes. But that is common in people who are scared to be stolen of their tactics to impose their rules. To trick people troubled abled invented mostly troubling rules, plotting fear and punishment to prevent truth mastery. Treasures stream truth in free territory. Thoughts that are imprisoned by shame, stopped forcefully, fail to transmit motion, to trample ridicule troubled abled foundations. Tilted listeners shove potential doubts. Subtle sounds of truth find their way in tilted, pivoting minds. Unstable, titrating treasures mostly lose their potency if mind travels infinitely. It stabilizes thinking to plot reasoning in constellations of trooped truths. Treasures track plots, timing possibilities to strike thinking to fasten truths. Plotting optimizes thinking, forcing the motion streams to pause. Thinking portrays mingling troubles trying to trespass the truth's territory. Treasures motion dreams together, foiling mirrored projections, reverberating treasures plotted. Hesitation to trust timed motions destabilizes treasures, propelling them in perpetual travel until they bind to free thinking truths. Trespassing trusts meaningful connections. Striving to mess meaningfully the dim possibilities of child potential induced mostly by troubled abled. Dreams, tremble trials, sampling streams, inviting the mind to explore the truth, OMG, traveling. Thank you.
Whew. What an amazing variation of the tressing that comes together to make this book. And I think hearing it from so many different angles really helps me as someone who's devoted to Imane's writing to hear it differently and to hear more. Thank you all so much. Imane, I would love to know if you have any reflections.
OMG. Im. Tressing. Motions. 2. The. Tilted. Beats. Of. Fascinating. Minds. OMG, in tressing motions to the tilted beats of fascinating minds.
OMG, I'm tressing motions to the tilted beats of fascinating minds.
I love that. Yeah, it's like a different soundtrack to these amazing words that I've read so many times. All right, I'll put that in the chat. I was so pleased when I asked Imane what she wanted to happen in addition to the performances from the book this evening, and Imane responded that she wanted to do some collaborative writing, and it's something that we have made a practice of among some of us who experiment in this kind of thing, and especially being able to harness the power of the chat as a non-speaking way to collaborate. And so what we'll do now is I will ask Imane for a prompt for us, something to help us, to set us off down the stream. And then as you feel moved, you just type a line into the chat. And then after 10 minutes, we'll read what has happened and read the kind of epic poem that we have just put together. And this is, yes, thank you, Aviv. This is for everyone. So audience, performers, I am definitely getting in there. And then what would, and it doesn't have to just be one line, and this is another thing, is that the streaming, and this is where the tressing really happens, is that as you see someone's line, you'd be like, oh, and then you write a line, and then you can kind of keep dipping in until our 10 minutes is up. And we'll see. I don't know if I've ever tried this with so many people. So we'll see what happens, but it's an experiment. Imane, do you want to give us a little direction, do you want to motion us?
It. Chris. Tills. The. Stillest. Next.
Mine, sorry, it's mine.
Yes, Chris tilts the stillest next.
I don't think that's the prompt. She's just
Okay.
making a comment. So she goes, hit it, Chris. No, hit it. Chris tilts the stillest minds.
I'm very honored by that. That's a lifelong ambition of mine, to tilt the stillest minds.
Grouting.
Trouting, sorry.
Trials. Timing. Streams. Grabbing.
So Imane wrote, typed trouting, trials, timing, streams.
All right. So this is how we've been motioned into this tressed writing we're going to do together: trouting, trials, timing, streams. So now we all put our mics on mute. And if you want to ask any questions about the process while it's happening, you can just direct chat me, I think. So feel free to do that. But otherwise, everything in the chat should be part of the poem. I'm going to give us 2 more minutes because I can tell how long this is going to take to read. And if you have any last lines, drop them now. All right. Why don't we end with that, with Imane's hip hip hopping. Before I read, I want to thank Morgan Baraka, who from Milkweed, who has helped make all of this possible, and he does such amazing work at Milkweed. I also love that Milkweed was writing in this poem. I think as Morgan, but we'll just say Milkweed was writing, which it's amazing to have the entirety of Milkweed collaborating on this poem. One thing I didn't mention is that our practice is to read the poem backwards. So that's what will happen. And then hopefully at some point we'll have time to put this all together, and maybe we can figure out a way to share it with everyone later. All right. Hip, hip, hopping. Trouting, timing, trials, streams. Trouting, timing, trials, streams. Trouting, timing, trials, streams. Rocking, fin. It would be that. Trout music, trout rock, sweet. Seeping minds, omnivoraciously opal. Still, 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 dreaming. Baiting me, I will bite. What color is the tressing, roaming, sitting on a rock, midway, OMG, oh, seeping, birding, eternity midway again, rocking, braided iridescence foaming, mid-trips, listening, mid-bashing, breaching, slipping, humming, still, 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 then splashing, glass trout rock, birding hum, trailing time, tressing, stress, momentous, cold, colder, cold, color, colder, still, trout tilt time, glass trout rock, birding him, silt, tressing light to indigo, hummingbird humming, 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 singing that song you love, the monks washing their robes, glass traps lost in trouts' mouths, streaming, 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 and it touches me deeply. Wired washing machines humming, 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 trout fish tongues, tasteful minds, thinking ticklish thoughts, a school of monkeys. Light sounds, lift touches suddenly at a distance, massive masses moving away seamlessly, almost instantly, or, wind moved through us like a school. sound, row, sounding, light tails, spinning, clock hands, tilt, time, trout, schooling fish always, wishing about and around me. Timing trials, will they ever stream? What that felt like, it would be that. Tilt glass time streams from and within me. It was time when the back felt that. Timing trouts, trialing streams, trilling thoughts, rainbow trout, splash tilting trout, leaking the sight, light glass rock, fast past stressing stratified, mad blasts, rainbow, seeking the light. Timing, trouting trials streams back to the crooked earth, tilt glass rock, down into the crooked water, when the gills tilted me utterly, washing, motions streaming, beaming, meaning, trouting and strouting, stresses, answer, wake up. It would be that. Time tilts, ticks, stills, color and light inside time, streaming, tomorrow, 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 tilts of time to trouting trials, timing, streams, darting rhythmically around and through the rocks at my window, so there was only flooded moods. It would be that, tilting time, till o'clock, something new, shook. It would be that, and tomorrow, usually uncovering tilt glass shock, that which could doubt, doubting, feet streaming, our trails spilled, the minute where it is, truing, hour, honoring, tip-toed to the tempo, moon, and kale, and no clock, tilt time up, repeating, timing, scales rainbow the air, the time turns clack, hard hour on rock, trout scales rock, light scales clock, on here. I think that was the end. Thank you all so much. That was
Can I just say something? Is that okay, Chris?
What?
Can I just say something?
Oh, please do. We would love it.
I mean, just out of one prompt, this is wonderful. I mean, the outcome of all of this is just wonderful. I just feel like there should be a poem at the end of the book. I mean, this poem that we wrote together. It's a shame, right? But
It's the afterword, the addendum.
it's just wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank everyone for contributing to that. It was amazing to read. The school of it swimming in my mouth was amazing. And I think Imane has something to say.
Yes.
OMG. Happy. Poets. Truly. Rocked. The. Trouting. Trouts. Happy poets truly rock the trouting trouts.
OMG, happy poets truly rocked the trouting trouts. Thank you so much.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I know everyone who is here with us tonight has already bought this book or is about to buy this book because of the amazingness you heard. but yeah, please spread the word. This is a book that I think is important for countless reasons. But I think one of the things I want to just say about it here at the end is how much I want to thank you, Imane, for giving me the vocabulary to describe my own experience, and to expand the vocabulary I have to describe my own experience, which in the end means my experience grows, that my ability to perceive and process the world and meet the world changes and expands. And so I'm so grateful to you, and I think others will be too. So everyone, please spread the word, spread the stream, and hopefully we'll get this book a lot of the attention it deserves. Anything else? Do we miss anything? There's lots of beautiful things in the chat.
Yeah, thank you all so much.
Thank you. I'll be tressing.
Thank you.
And we have to also, oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's just my thank you. I thank all of you.
And we also have to thank the amazing Mary Austin speaker, who is in the other room right now somewhere, and who designed the book. And with Imane and Aviv and I put together what really no book looks like this, or has ever really looked like this. So it is, yeah, it was an amazing challenge and to design it. And this is one of the things that makes me so grateful to have Multiverse at Milkweed, is that I know challenges like these will be met with eagerness and brilliance. All right, I think we're out of time. Thank you all so much. And we'll try to share the poem that we all wrote. Okay. Bye,
Thank
Matt.
you.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.